All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Let's just jump right in, because today we're unpacking one of the most fascinating paradoxes in all of modern tech. On one side of the equation, you have the blockchain. It is a system meticulously engineered to be flawless, to record data permanently, and to literally never forget a single byte of information. But on the other side, well, we have us, humans. We forget where we put our car keys, we forget our own anniversaries, and as we're about to see, our flawed biological memory is actually the ultimate point of failure in a system that was designed to be perfect.
To really grasp the stakes here, you have to hear this real-world story. Picture this. Back in 2011, a programmer named Stefan Thomas made a quick explainer about cryptocurrency. For his work, he was paid 7,002 Bitcoin. Now, at the time, that was worth maybe $2,000. So he stored the private keys on an encrypted iron key flash drive, scribbled the password on a scrap of paper, and lost the paper. Today, that exact same Bitcoin is worth roughly $777 million. It's sitting right there, totally untouched. But here is the catch. That iron key device automatically and permanently wipes its own memory after 10 incorrect password guesses. Stefan has already tried 8 times. He literally has 2 guesses left before nearly $1 billion is just gone forever.
And the craziest part? Stefan's story really isn't an isolated thing. Chainalysis actually estimates that up to 23% of all mined Bitcoin is permanently inaccessible. We are talking about several million Bitcoin. And here's the kicker. It is not because of some sophisticated team of hackers in a dark room bypassing encryption. No, it is overwhelmingly just human error. It's forgotten seed phrases, it's accidentally throwing away paper backups, or it's people passing away without ever telling their family how to access their wallets.
So the absolute core takeaway here is this. The blockchain does not forget. People do. We really have to fundamentally change how we think about a crypto wallet. A seed phrase is not just some password that logs you into an account on a company's server somewhere. That 24-word phrase mathematically is your wallet. Every single address that wallet ever creates derives perfectly from those specific words. There's no customer support hotline, there's no central database, and there's absolutely no forgot password link you can click to save you. The vulnerability isn't the cryptography at all. The real vulnerability is the human being holding the seed phrase.
Section 1. Z-Text's Eternal Memory.
So how do we actually bridge this massive gap between perfect machine memory and our flawed human memory? Enter Z-Text. This is a messenger built from the ground up to solve this exact problem. It uses something called zk-SNARKs, which, without getting too deep into the weeds, is just a highly advanced mathematical way of shielding your data. And it pairs that with a concept they call eternal memory. But what does that actually mean for you? Keeping the jargon light, it means that one single 24-word seed phrase doesn't just recover your money. It restores absolutely everything: a shielded messenger, a BitcoinZ wallet, your on-chain channels, and your saved passwords, all in one single app. Lose your phone? You just punch those 24 words into a new device, and the app scans the BitcoinZ blockchain to completely rebuild your entire digital life. And because it does this entirely on-chain, there is zero reliance on any central server anywhere.
Now, there is one very specific, very intentional exception to this rule. If you've manually upgraded a specific chat to use post-quantum encryption, those messages will not restore from the blockchain. They stay strictly locked to the original device they were sent on. And to be clear, that's not a flaw. It is absolutely a feature. It preserves a cryptographic standard known as forward secrecy. Basically, it ensures that even if your seed phrase is somehow stolen years from now, those highly sensitive, quantum-resistant conversations stay permanently locked to your original physical hardware.
Section 2. 2 ways to backup. Securing the same seed.
Okay, so having one 24-word master key to your whole digital life is amazing, but how do you actually keep those words safe in the real world? Z-Text gives you 2 totally distinct backup options, keeping in mind that both of these protect the exact same underlying wallet. Option A is the old-school route. You carefully handwrite the 24 words in perfect order on a physical piece of paper, and then the app quizzes you on a few random word positions just to prove you didn't mess it up. Then there's option B, the digital approach. This creates a heavily encrypted backup file, a .ztbk file, which is then locked tight by a completely separate app-generated 24-word phrase pass.
If you decide to go with option B, the encrypted file route, you really need to understand how these 2 pieces work together. Think of it exactly like a safety deposit box that requires 2 keys to be turned at the exact same time. The backup file all by itself, it's literally just a 1 megabyte blob of totally unreadable data. You could post it on the front page of the internet and no one could do a thing with it. But on the flip side, that 24-word backup phrase is also completely useless by itself because it doesn't have a file to unlock. You absolutely must have both pieces together to restore your account. Now, a super common misconception here is that ZText expects you to juggle two massive 24-word lists at once. You don't. You really only ever have to manage one. Every wallet generates the main 24-word seed once, right when you set it up. If you choose the encrypted file backup, that file essentially swallows up your original seed and the app hands you a new backup passphrase to lock it. From that second forward, you never need to remember the original seed again. You're just trading the burden of memorizing the seed for the burden of keeping this one new backup passphrase safe.
Which naturally leads us to the single most common question people ask about encrypted backups. Why can't I just pick my own password, right? Like, why can't I just type in summer 2024 or my dog's name so I don't forget it?
Well, the short answer is that human-chosen passwords are just incredibly weak. We naturally pick low-entropy, super guessable words based on our lives, our pets, or pop culture. If a system allows you to secure an encrypted file that guards real financial assets with a password like password123, it gives you this terribly dangerous false sense of security. It basically defeats the entire purpose of the heavy encryption protecting your money.
So, to fix this, ZText completely takes human choice out of the equation. It automatically generates your backup passphrase using the official BIP39 word list. Then it runs that phrase through something called Argon2IDE. That is a memory hard function deliberately designed to be painfully, agonizingly slow for computers to guess, which actively fights off brute force hacking attempts. So essentially, the lock on your backup file is mathematically just as strong as the vault itself. It carries around 256 bits of entropy, and honestly, no human-chosen password is ever going to come close to matching that.
Section 3. Honest backup trade-offs. No perfect shield. Let's just take a step back and be really honest for a second. The tech world loves to hype up ultimate security solutions, right? But the reality laid out in our source material is remarkably candid. There is no such thing as a perfect shield. Every single digital backup method out there inherently has flaws. Let's just rapidly run through them. Paper backups? You can lose them in a move. They can burn up in a house fire, or a roommate could just find it and read it. Encrypted files? Hard drives fail all the time. Files get corrupted or accidentally deleted, or you might just get locked out of your cloud account. And physical hardware wallets? Well, you can lose the physical device, the internal chips can easily suffer water damage, or they can even get wiped clean by strong magnetic fields.
And this just brilliantly illustrates the harsh reality of digital self-custody. No method completely removes the risk. You aren't eliminating danger. You are literally just trading one failure mode for another. You trade memory risk for file custody risk or for physical hardware risk. Ultimately, the system leaves it totally up to you to look at your own daily life and decide which specific type of risk you are best equipped to handle.
Section 4. Test your memory safely. The Mnemonic Challenge. So, if human memory really is the biggest wildcard here, how do you even know if you're cut out for it? Well, ZText built a really cool interactive game directly into the explainer material to let you safely put your own brain to the test. It's called the Mnemonic Memory Challenge. It's a totally safe, zero-stakes practice round. Here's how it works. Step 1. Pick your difficulty. Easy, which is just 6 words, or elephant, which is 12 words. Step 2. Spend a little time studying a pairing of a picture and a word. And finally, Step 3. Later on, relying entirely on your own memory, you try to recall the exact sequence using a 4-letter autocomplete system.
The way they design this is incredibly specific. You get 3 context hints per word and a handy honest surrender option if you're just totally drawing a blank. But the coolest feature is definitely that 4-letter autocomplete. That isn't just a random design choice. It perfectly mimics actual BIP39 crypto wallets. The official master word list is mathematically designed so that the first 4 letters of any word uniquely identify it. Basically, this whole challenge is explicitly built to be a safe dress rehearsal. It surfaces your personal memory gaps long before they matter on a real wallet holding your actual funds. Which brings us right back around to the summary of our entire explainer today. Through architecture like ZText's eternal memory, the system has effectively solved the data storage problem. The wallet, the messages, the passwords, they are secured and recallable forever. The blockchain will never, ever forget. The only unpredictable variable left in this entire equation is human recall. It really is the final frontier of digital security.
So, I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on. Think about a random password you made 3 months ago. Now try to think about 24 completely random words. Would you honestly remember them months from now? It is so easy to assume we will, right up until we're the ones staring down an iron key flash drive with only 2 guesses left. Find out what your memory is really capable of now before your actual money's on the line. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.